Hi guys, this is Michaelin, and I want to welcome you back to Surviving Long-Term Care. So, I know earlier this week I released a video and was basically talking about what long-term care is, the different aspects of long-term care, and just trying to give you a quick overview of what it truly consists of. Just because I think sometimes people only think long-term care is, just nursing homes and elderly people and things like that. So please be sure to go check out that video if you want to get like a quick overview of long-term care, rehab, skilled nursing, those type of things. Today I want to do just a quick little snippet because another key aspect that correlates with that type of care is called respite care. Respite. That's respite care. And so respite care, and don't mind me if I'm looking down at my phone, I got some notes in there. Respite care is for those family members who are caregivers to loved ones 24/7 around the clock, and they need a break, right? They want to go on vacation, with their children or their families or their friends or wherever the case may be. But this loved one needs this 24-hour care, this 24-hour supervision. Also, respite care can be, say the person does require 24-hour care, but they still do require some type of care. Families can elect to use to put them in respite care. And so when you put them in respite care, that respite care can be a nursing home. They may stay for a couple of days, they may stay for a week, they may stay for a couple of weeks. A lot of the times it depends on if the person have insurance, how much their insurance is going to cover. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna turn my I'm listening to Lofi. A lot of times it can be based upon what their insurance will cover for, the different programs that they're in, the kind of coverage that they'll give them. Some families will elect to even pay out of pocket, like if the say the insurance only allows them, I don't know, let's just say 3 days. They know they're going to be on a cruise for 7 days. Some families may take 3 days and then maybe they'll elect to pay the other 4 days or so out of pocket. Maybe there's families that will just pay out of pocket, period. Maybe that person's insurance doesn't cover respite at all. So it it's a way for caregivers to kind of regain back some of that personal time for themselves, kind of like regroup with themselves, and again, vacation, families, things like that. Being a 24-hour caregiver is a lot of work, and I think sometimes people get into it and they don't realize just how much work is involved. And I do believe that we all start out with awesome intentions. I really do. Nobody goes into it, I pray and hope not, knowing that they're going to cause any harm or neglect or anything to a patient. But I do believe that we go into it with good intentions, right? But at 30 days, 90 days, 60, 120 days, 6 months, like, okay, I need to unwind just to break the monotony. Let me get a couple of days. And sometimes the insurance too will break it up. So you might have a person who say you can have 4 weeks of respite for a 12-month period. I'm sorry, as my dog is playing with her toys. She will wait till I record to start playing with her toys. So I am so sorry. She having a with this rabbit. Oh gosh. Anywho, sometimes the insurance might give them 4 weeks for a 12-month period, or might give them 3 weeks for a 12-month period. You, as the caregiver, can elect to take the whole 4 weeks at one time, break it up, and maybe do a week every quarter, take 2 weeks every 6 months, or take a long weekend here and there, right? It just depends on you. A lot of facilities will do the respite care. Now, when they come in respite care, we still, intake them, admit them to the facility just as if they were a patient we were admitting from the hospital. With respite care, though, you have the opportunity to bring your medications in so that we don't have to create another bill, or you're not billed through the insurance company again for these medications, and they already got the medications. They're only going to be here for a short period of time, right? Um, so that's always something that I like families or caregivers to know, that they do have that option. Also, there's always home care too. So A lot of home cares will come into play. I think I touched on it a little bit before. Some patients are able to. She is bugging out. This story. She's crazy. Some families will, Macy. Some families will go home with their loved ones, and the loved ones will get home care services. That's a whole nother subject. We will do a whole nother video on home care services. I actually did not like working home care the very first time. You see the top of her head? I worked home care. I truly didn't like it. But then later down the line, I loved it because I loved what it did. For people, it allowed them to be at home. It allowed them to be in a familiar environment. It allowed them to be around their loved ones, right? If they have pets, to be around their pets and things like that. So, they can go home with home care, so, and hours vary based upon your need. There's so much that goes into it. It's just, you could go down a rabbit hole and honestly never hit the end of it. But to go back to where we were, to refocus what we were talking about respite. And again, just a quick recap. It can last couple days, it can last a couple weeks, it can last a month. It all just very depends on if you're using insurance or if you're coming out of pocket with private pay. It can be done in a nursing home. Sometimes they'll allow you to do respite with another family member or another loved one. Like, say, I don't want my loved one to do a nursing home, but my sister's willing to take grandma for 2 weeks or something. Now, from what my experience is, I don't have a whole ton of it with respite, but what my experience is with respite is that that money then that you receive for caring for your loved one, that time frame that they're out of the home with you, or that time frame that they're not in your care, that chunk of money is allocated to wherever they're going for their respite. And so sometimes, that's something that you want to keep in mind, is that it has to be paid for. They're not going to pay you on standby, for 12 months out the year, and then 2 weeks out the year let you have respite and then still pay you for those 2 weeks. That's probably not going to happen. I'm going to say more likely not than it will. Half nurse, half coffee. A nurse that don't like coffee? Whew, I don't know, because I love mine. So, and again, in the respite care, if they come to care, we build a care plan for them. Our doctors will see them like they're going to be treated just like they're one of our residents in the facility. And the main goal of respite care, again, is to give that primary caregiver a break while still making sure that the patient is receiving, or the resident or the client, however you want to title them, is receiving their care, and that they stay safe while that person is having their vacation, or maybe they're having a staycation. Maybe they're in such care mode all the time when they're at home. I just need a staycation. I need to restructure my environment. I need to do some different things. Maybe we're having a house enhanced to take care of our loved one even better. Maybe we're moving, right? And we don't want our loved one in the mix or whatever, so we want to get them out the way, make sure that they're safe so that we can do everything that we need to do. So again, you don't have to worry about, are they going to be bathed? Are they going to see doctors? What happens if they get sick? They are treated just like they would be any other patient that we admitted into the facility from the hospital. But I always want people to make sure that they understand that they have options. I am a firm believer that nobody seeks to abuse anybody that they're caring for. I do think that people burn out. I do think that people become overwhelmed. I do think that people become very stressed. I do think that people take on more than they thought they could handle. I do think that people sometimes, have a uncomfortable situation or a bad situation, or maybe in a facility, and their first immediate reaction is, well, I'm just taking my loved one out of here. We're out of here. We're going home. I can take care of them at home. And I can tell you, prime example is I had someone call me and say, hey, you did an unsafe discharge. Nope, we actually didn't do an unsafe discharge. It was explained to you the level of care that your loved one would need. You stated that you would be able to provide that level of care. And then once you got your loved one home, you realized it was a lot more than what you could handle. Hindsight is 2020, right? However, once they are discharged from our facility, I can't just bring them back after a week or two when you decide, nope, I can't do this. I don't want to do this no more. Within a few days or so, I have a little leeway. There's a little kind of a grace period where we can say, you know what, things didn't happen. Let me call my admissions personnel. Let's see if we can call your primary doctor, and let's see if we can get you admitted back into the facility without sending you all the way back to the hospital, right? Within a couple of days or something like that. But once you've been gone for like a couple of weeks and you're realizing like, oh wow, not only is this a lot more than I thought it was going to be, people don't take into consideration the impact it'll have on their lives, the impact that it's going to have on your family's life if you're married or in a relationship, or the impact it's going to have on your children's life, right? Your timing, like everything changes. So people be aware and be mindful of the different services out there that can truly help you, to try and keep you from being burnt out. And don't feel bad if you get to the point where you can't do it anymore, right? Would you rather have your loved one home, risk having a burnout moment episode, and at just the blink of an eye, now you find yourself in the middle of abuse, right? An abuse case. Or you can come to the facility, you can visit your loved one, you still get to direct their care, you can call 24/7. Facilities don't shut down from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. I tell my residents, family members, call whenever you feel like it. If you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to the bathroom, like, hey, I wonder how mom doing, call. Doesn't bother me. Supervisor has the phone, right? You want to come at 8 o'clock in the morning and have breakfast with them, let us know. We'll try to accommodate you as much as I can, because although we are taking care of the resident, I always tell my staff, the family is an extension of that. If family is not happy, then resident's not going to be happy for the most part, right? And if the resident is not happy, then the family's not going to be happy. We are never going to make everybody happy. It's just not realistic to think that everybody's going to be happy and satisfied. Everybody's expectations is different. Everybody has different standards, right? So it's not going to happen. But I just want people just to be mindful to utilize the services that you have. If you have a loved one at home that you're caring for, call your insurance companies and ask them, hey, do I qualify for any type of respite care? Does mom or dad or whoever the case may be, do they have, anything that I can do? Can you lead me in a direction? Are there any groups or any companies or any programs out there that maybe mom can go to for a couple hours out the day, or whoever? Same thing if you're at home with a special needs child or something like that, right? You have respite care too. You have options. There are things you can do. And then sometimes and I don't want to sound callous, you can't put a price on a peace of mind. So if you need to just, hey, we exhausted all of our respite care, or oh my goodness, they only get like 2-3 days of respite care, see who you can afford. Call around to different facilities and see how much do you charge for respite care by the day. Maybe it's something that you can save up for to add on to whatever it is that the insurance company gives you. So in a nutshell, just want to make you understand what respite care is. I hope you understood. I hope I was able to explain it to you. Again, I haven't had a lot of experience with this, especially on the as a DON. I've been OPN receiving patients for respite care for a little while. And home care, I've been out to different homes to do assessments and things on patients, and families were preparing them for respite care and things like that. But never be ashamed to ask a question. Never be afraid to pick up the phone and call the insurance company. A lot of them want you to not pick up the phone and call them and ask these questions. There's always some help out there. Never feel like you're a lone man on an island by yourself. Reach out for somebody, phone a friend. You have elder services. You have so many avenues. I can't promise that all of them are going to pick up the phone on the first call, or you can get everything you need within the first try. This is healthcare. We know what we're dealing with, but just be mindful that you do have help out there. So I hope this helped you. I hope I was able to get it across to you clearly. If you can add anything to this, that would be phenomenal. Sharing information, anybody that has any experiences with respite care, good, bad, or ugly, it is what it is. But let's talk about it. Let's see where things probably could have went different. And enjoy your loved one, enjoy your time with them, but enjoy your families and enjoy some me time too as well. Your family member loves you. They know, they understand. They wouldn't want you to just wither away just taking care of them, right? They would want you to have a life, and so don't feel guilty about re- not recouping, but trying to have a couple of days to yourself to get enjoy yourself, relax, enjoy your family, and enjoy your friends. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one. We got some really great topics coming up. Like I said, I love long-term care. I love geriatrics, so I'm always buzzing around in different avenues trying to see what's out there. I've done a little bit of this and a little bit of that to try and close it full circle, even for me, so I can help families navigate through this. So please enjoy the rest of your evening. I just got off of work about an hour ago. I'm gonna have this cup of coffee, make me something to eat, and I'm gonna kick my feet up and relax until time for bed. So you guys enjoy your evening, and we'll talk soon. Bye.